this is where sometimes when we over open our jaw, we think that we're gonna, it will potentially give you more sound, but the sound will be more diffused and not necessarily, what's the word? It's like, sometimes like the pitch will become an issue. If you're attacking and doing this sort of opening of the jaw as you're singing a note, it typically is not happening on the attack. It's like what happens after the attack. You know, like when we're swelling something, or we're gonna go, okay, it's like I'm going fa, and the sound is basically it's diffusing. So if you don't open quite so wide, fa, it keeps that sound a little bit more like you've got the compressors on the voice. Okay, let's go from the beginning, okay? Now, we need the joie de vivre. Yes, the French, we'll bring that in. We need a little joie de vivre. We need a little bit of the inner dits to come out here now, ladies. And I know everybody's tired. So we're gonna just do it one more time, okay? All the way through. Ready, and. Manca sollecita, più delusato. Lift. Ancor che s'agiti. Con lieve. Con lieve fiato. Face. Face che palpita preso a morire. Face che palpita preso a morire. Good, we're gonna do it one more time. Now, that was really nice on that top note. Did you feel a difference in how that worked?
No, I was concentrating on keeping my mouth closed.
Which is what happened, and what you would have noticed is that all of a sudden the tone was very precise, and wasn't breathy. It just was right there.
Okay.
Now, when we're climbing up from the bottom, there's a tendency to try to take a lot of weight up with us, meaning we get comfortable here and we're going to try to carry that up. You want to, because of these passages, you kind of want to think a little bit lighter. So when you go for that bottom note on the middle C, instead of thinking like your mezzo forte, you're pulled back a little bit. More mezzo piano.
Okay.
Fa, fa, che, che, fa. It'll give you more, so you have more at the end of that phrase. Okay? Now, everybody could be brighter, believe it or not. You could not be too bright for me.
Okay.
No, let's do this one more time. Let's see how it goes. I only stop in emergency. Okay? All right, here we go. Ready? All right, ready? Manca. Manca sollecita, più delusato, ancor che s'agiti, con lieve fiato. Okay, right there, we'll do that one. So, con lieve fiato. Ready, and? Con lieve fiato, face che pallida preso a morire, face che pallida preso a morire. Good, and now we're going to do that fa che che line going up again. This is where we lose the line, on the pa. So what happens is you're going fa che che, and you're really doing good, and then all of a sudden palpita, and it opens up to one. So fa che che, right where the A is, pa.
Pa.
So say fa che che pa. Nothing changes. Nothing. Yes, nothing changes. Okay. So that tendency to want to woo open up right there is problematic, because then your preso a morire becomes very woo. Okay, out of control. Let's call it that. Here we go. Ready, and. I heard a little scoop. Watch your scoops on the attack. Ready, and fa. Fa che che palpita preso a morire. Fa che che palpita preso a morire. Yes. Did you feel the difference? You had much more control as you went up and much more control as you came down. So there's a couple things that just in general with singing like this, that right now what we're trying to do, and we talked about this within relationship to choral music and modifications and vowels, and how do we make this work with singing, all right? It's sort of like we're putting a little straitjacket on our mouths and on our minds. We're causing ourselves to have to think a little smaller, more compressed, and a little brighter, because our natural tendency as Americans is to sing too far back. The sound and the pitch becomes problematic as soon as we go to our Americanized vowels, okay? So you're kind of having to feel things differently than you're used to feeling them. So to a certain extent, it's like I'm restricting you. It's like I'm taking your control away just a little bit for a while, power away. You get it back as soon as you feel the control of being able to go up and down your registers without effort. Then you're ready to let the voice do what it will do at that point, which is basically blossom around that core. So the purpose of developing and strengthening the core is so that eventually what happens is you get so strong and so connected internally to how you feel your voice that your natural beauty, the Italians call it the squillo, the shimmer of your voice, will start to bloom around that core. But if you imagine that you're never in alignment, the voice is just like anything else in any martial arts, in any spiritual practice. If you're not in alignment, having that ability to feel the blossoming cannot happen because you're never on the track. Does that make sense? It's very, very similar to that process. This was very good work today, ladies. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
A lot of fun.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Awesome. Thank you.